restrictive trade practices. In monopolistic trade practices, we have come up with a test word was unreasonable pricing, unreasonable profit. Now, when we are speaking of restrictive trade practices, RTP, it is trade practices which prevents, distorts and restricts. These are the three key words to be remembered in restrictive trade practices: prevents, distorts and restricts the competition for goods and services. What are the different ways it can do it? One is the refusal to deal, that means it doesn't deal. Tie up sales, like sometimes we happen that we purchase some products and that products accessories have to be purchased from that particular showroom only. So tie up of the sale, you have been compelled. There is a restriction of the trade. Nobody else can sell those goods. So that is restrictive trade practices. Full line forcing, exclusive dealing some takes place, price discrimination takes place. It's being discrimination of the price takes place. For different segments of the market, the monopolized charges different prices. That means it has only trade and it charges different prices in the different market segments. And the third one is resale price maintenance and area restriction. Like means sometimes we come across that in particular area, the particular, you can say that in particular mobile, you can say that in the mobile companies, mobile operations operators are there. In particular area, they have that monopolized being created. Their networks is only available. Other mobile networks are not available. So this area is being fixed by them. They have fixed. We had a very best example. Nowadays it is no more, but it was of cable connection. Those cable connections where we used to watch the different channels in the TV, that were being like area concentration was being there. Some area was to given to one section, one owner used to, or one supplier was there, and another supplier concentration on other area. So these are restrictive trade practices. Under the section 33I, it speaks three words: prevention, distorts and restricts the competition for goods and services. The key three words which you should remember is prevents, distorts and restricts. Now let us understand some difference between MTP, that is monopoly trade practices, and restrictive trade practices. The very first difference is of monopoly power versus competition curbing. In monopoly trade practices, we have understood that some of the undertaking has an economic concentration, has an power, monopoly power. It dictates the price. It has an unreasonable charging of the price, unreasonable profit. That means it has a monopoly power. While in restrictive trade practices, it is curbing competition, not allowing the competition to take place. There is no fair competition. So such trade practices come under RTPs. Second one is the regulations for RTP is like this way, that we have MRTP Commission. MRTP Commission inquires, and MRTP itself can pass an order in RTP. Okay, but in MTP, MRTP Commission investigates, inquires and gives report to central government. The central government is empowered. So this is another point of difference between MTP and RTP, and that is the main difference. Another main difference, that is in MTP, the Monopoly Restriction Trade Practice Commission can only recommend it to central government, while in RTP they can directly give an order. And another thing is that Monopoly Trade Practice Act has to be registered. All MTPs has to be registered, while in RTPs the registration is not must. So this is the difference, the three difference we have come across, MTP and RTP. Now we started with the Act's objective, and in Act I have explained prevention of concentration of economic power. We have cleared that. Second, we understood about MTPs, monopoly trade practices. What are different trade practices and what are the different regulations in MRTP Act to prohibit those MTPs, we studied about RTPs, restrictive trade practices. What are different trade practices which come under RTP, and also about the MRTP regulations for prohibiting it. Now comes third, UTPs, that is unfair trade practices. In unfair trade practices, which consist of using deceptive, fraudulent or unethical methods to obtain business. And I think you will understand very nicely this UTPs. Various practices are being done in the market by the marketers, or you can say the traders, with then misleading advertisements. We come across some of the advertisements, we purchase the product and then we feel that what was being shown in the advertisement is not so. Various examples you can give it to me. We come across some of the products, standards are being mentioned on its packet, but when we open up the packet, the quality of the product is not what is being mentioned. So such type of practices, that is, there are some misleading, like you can say they are misleading or they are unethical methods, not ethical methods. That means misleading advertisement and false representation. As I gave you an example, that in advertisement you promote the product, you give a lot of description of the product, but the product is not so, it's not representation. The representation is false. Sometimes we say dikhaya kuch diya kuch, okay. Then another one is bargain sale. So, or you can say bet and switch selling. There are no fixed prices, the bargaining takes place. Someone says that I purchased for 100 and some say, oh, I got it for 50. So such trade practices are considered as an unfair trade practices. Sometimes offering of gifts or prizes with the intention of not providing them and conducting promotional contest. We come across lot of the mails we come across, okay, or you have win the coupon, or you have a gift coupon or gift voucher, and then it is not so when we purchase the product, or we sometimes are being misled by this such gifts, that you will be given this gift or this will be the promotional coupons. Nowadays it's of digital payment is coming up, those coupons, we run around those codes, coupon codes, that if I'll get that code I'll save 10%, 20%, 30%. So such practices which are unethical, or you can say which are unfair. Initially only we started, no? In competition there are two ways, fair ways to compete and unfair ways. So these are some of the unfair trade practices. Another one is product safety standards. The safety standards are not maintained in the product, which are supposed to be maintained. Then it's said to be an unfair trade practices. Or sometimes we come across hoarding or destructing of goods, destruction of the goods, some hoardings, or we have some mega exhibitions and we go in it, and then we come across the products which in that exhibition what is being shown was not so, the product is not the same. So such type of trade practices are said to be an unfair trade practices. So we started with MTP, monopoly trade practices, restrictive trade practices and unfair trade practices. We differentiated between MTP and RTP. Now we'll differentiate between UTP and RTP. UTP means unfair trade practices and restrictive trade practices. The difference, I think the basic difference you have understood. The main difference is of in UTP, unfair trade practices, it's the consumer interest has to be protected, while in RTP the protection of competition in the market. It means in unfair trade practices the consumer interest, somewhere the consumer interest are being taken care, or in the UTPs these practices are misleading the consumers, while in RTP it is they are not allowing the competition in the market. Over here in UTP there are no deeming provisions being required, but in RTP you require. Agreements are to be registered in UTP, but it not in the case of RTP. So we studied MRTP Act's objective. What is it? The MRTP's objective is to prevent economic concentration and then prohibit MTP, RTP, UTP, monopoly trade practice, restrictive trade practice and UTP. We studied about different trade practices which were classifying MTP, RTP and UTP. We also studied about the regulations. Now let us go in detail about the enforcement machinery of under this act. What was the enforcement machinery for this MRTP Act? The very first was MRTP Commission was being established. Monopoly Restriction Trade Practice Commission was appointed by the central government. As per this, in this commission there is a chairman and the members not less than 2 and not more than 8, the members are there in the commission. It's a quasi-judicial body. That means it can pass the orders, or it is like an quasi-judicial, you can say that it can deal some of the civil courts. Like as the civil courts are dealing in some of the cases, same way the MRTP Commission can deal some of the cases. Okay, we know that in MRTP Commission just inquires and submits the report. Then we have Director General of Registration, which is being appointed by the central government. Director General of the central government appoints it. Along with the Director General, there is Deputy Director General is also there. The Director General main function is to have the registration of the agreements and has to maintain the records of the agreements. So that is the main function of the Director General of investigation and registration, and also it investigates in some of the RTPs and UTPs. Then we have in central government, that's the main role for MTP we studied. The central government is empowered to divide the undertakings, or those undertakings have taken up their monopoly power, and it can even have severances of the interconnections between the undertakings. So the central government role is based on the regulations to regulate the MTPs, and central government can even ask MRTP Commission or DIG to investigate in some of the MTPs and UTPs, and based on the MRTP's Commission inquiry they can pass the orders, the central government. And then comes the Supreme Court. I think you all know it's an apex court, and the main function of this court is an appellate function. It listens to the appeals of the orders given by the MRTP commissions, or in case of RTP and UTP, and it listens or it appeals to those orders given by the central government and then gives the judgment. So the enforcement machinery of MRTP Act of 1969 was MRTP Commission. Now this commission is also been repealed, and now this commission is Competition Commission of India, CCI, which will go further, because what we are studying today is an MRTP Act, but that act is being repealed into Competition Act of 2002. Will come to it. We are studying the basis for Competition Act, MRTP Act. Now the MRTP Commission was set up by central government, is a quasi-judicial body. Commission has members not less than 2 and more than 8 members. Okay, the commissions can make inquiry and passes order in case of RTP and UTP. It makes inquiry and submits reports to central government, and it is in power. It has in power of equity, civil court, entry, or it has in power for search. It has in power for seizure. It has power to amend and also revoke orders. It can revoke orders only in RTPs and UTPs, but not in MTPs, because in MTPs, as we studied in Monopoly Trade Practices, the Monopoly Trade Practices Commission, MRTP Commission, can only recommend to central government. Second is Director General of Investigation. It's an importing wing of MRTP enforcement machinery appointed by central government. Its important function is to conduct investigation, to maintain registration, register agreements, perform functions ensured entrusted by the Act, to application of inquiry and appear in inquiry before the MRTP Commission. We are studying the enforcement machinery. The third is central government. We know that the central government is empowered for the division of undertakings, severance of interconnection of undertaking, passing final orders in MTPs, making rules, making references to the commission for the inquiry. Yeah, it can make some references, or extending the act to the public undertaking. Yeah. Supreme Court, Appellate Court, it has empowered to decide the appeals against the certain decisions of central government and orders of central government and commission. Now this act, this MRTP Act was amended in 1974, 1980, 82, 84, 91. We'll take some of the amendments prior moving to Competition Act. The first amendment was of 1984. In this amendment, the high-powered expert committee of remedy headed by the Sanchar reported that a separate chapter should be added to the MRTP Act defining UTPs, essentially in the interest of the consumers. In the interest of consumers, a separate chapter should be added. And regarding the advertisement and representation to consumers should not become deceptive but should be transparent. This was the main amendment in 1984, that a UTP were more broadly being classified, and in UTP the more focus was being given that the advertisement should not become deceptive but should be more transparent, or whatever is being shown should be given. That was the main amendment of 1984. Then comes 1991. I think we all know the year 1991. In economics, we have come across the three words LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. This was the great economic reforms brought in India in 1991, and due to these reforms there were a lot of policy changes in different policies. The same was applicable to MRTP. Over here there were some implications where, like deregulation and simplification of